Hey, this is Jessica Hitch, the Reiki Master, working as Peaceful Presence in Albuquerque. And I'm here to continue the story of what happened after my Reiki I attunement. Alright, so can already feel, just talking about it, my heart like, yes, 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 this is my story, this is my truth. It feels really good. So Reiki, one big thing it helped me discover was that I had a dream. Something here on the earth unique to me, here that I'm supposed to actualize, and that brings me delight, that challenges me, that fuels me, that nourishes my soul, and that goes deep. It works throughout my day in all ways. So that's been a huge gift from a $150 attunement. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't put a price tag on something like that. Yeah, so with the level one, my life fell apart. I'd been working, going door to door every night, talking to people about preventing the shipment of harmful electronic waste overseas. It was really challenging. I'm sure you know how you react when strangers with clipboards come to your door and you're sitting there doing whatever you're doing at night with your family. You can only imagine. And I was in Texas, so some neighborhoods pretty cool with the whole environment thing. Oh, and I had dreadlocks. Yeah, I had dreadlocks. So I I remember just standing outside one door and people going, "Mom, some crazy hippies outside. Do you want to talk to them?" Thinking I couldn't hear. Anyway, that's a rewarding job. But what happened was that it reached the point where I couldn't take it anymore. It was such hard work. I'm shy. I mean, I was ready to leave, and my performance showed it. I stopped consistently being able to fundraise enough, and so I got fired. And part of me was like, okay, that's cool. I really was stretched by that job. Another part was like, ooh, money. Oh, where is it gonna come from now? That was my income. So that part was worried. But because I wasn't working every night anymore, my friend Joe said, hey, I've been studying with the shaman up in Denton. We do drumming, we sing. You should come. And I already knew about shamanic journeying from Sandra Ingerman's work, and I'd been studying with a shamanic practitioner in Dallas named Lynn Wolfe. And so to me, I'm like, yeah, I'm totally ready for something like that. I thrive off of the drum. So I end up at this class and we sit in a circle, and it's such a beautiful room. This guy, Silver Rob Baker, runs the ashram in Denton, Texas, and he came and he started teaching. We call in all the directions of the medicine wheel, and like, it was wild, the energy in there. I'm like, what does this guy know? What can he see? Like, what is he working with? And the things we were learning, accepting responsibility for what we create in the world, power of affirmative thought, ways to handle mental formations, the interplay of all the people there, um, turned out to be very powerful, right? So after this first class, they started talking about a sweat lodge was going to be that weekend. I'd always heard about a sweat lodge. I thought, holy Christ, okay. I don't got a job, I'll go. I'll go to the sweat lodge. So I remember I wore a green sweater or a green shirt, and I show up at the sweat lodge. And what I later learned is that whenever you step into ceremonial space, every single thing that happens is purposeful. It's all divine plan, it's all divine harmony, and it's all perfection. But at this point, I'm a newbie, never been, wasn't quite aware what would happen. I was mindful of my diet. I think I just had like a light smoothie that day, so already my energy was really pure and light. And as the ceremony evolved, I kept stepping into this one rock that was outside the lodge, and it represented the Northeast, and it was green. And in my mind, if something happens 2 times or 3 times, I need to pay attention. Um, so after I ran into that rock a few times, I thought, that's weird. I wonder what that's about. And I also realized I was wearing the same shirt color as the color the rock was. So as the ceremony goes on, a lot of things happened. It was very beautiful. And afterwards, I met a resident, and we started talking, and people lived at this place. She said, they've got a room to rent. And again, I'm feeling the emotion just come up, because what a miracle this has been for me in my life and my own growth and progress. I never would have dreamed this kind of potential, but it happened, and the Reiki showed me how to meet it. So she said, there's a room available, and she showed me the room, and I looked at it, and it was so beautiful, and we went to leave, and I looked up, and it was the Northeast room. So that's my third alignment with the Northeast. Wow, okay, And something about being there, I knew it was for me. There was no logical reason, nothing reinforcing it other than the strong feeling that I was home, that I was walking into the space, that it was mine. Then I go home. Oh, all the doubts come. The place I was living definitely felt not quite right anymore. The energy was unsettling. I wasn't quite sure why. And so it felt like moving would be a good idea, but again, I don't have any income. I'd applied for unemployment and was hoping it would come through. Because I hadn't been earning much going door to door, my unemployment check was pretty small too, when it did come through, but that helped relieve some of that stress. So I was pretty much planning on moving up to the ashram. And I remember I was really intimidated by Silver, because he's this very powerful male authority figure, and that is something that I don't always connect to inside myself, and so it can appear kind of in a frightening way outside of me. Plus, like I said, I'm shy, so just like I used to be so scared of simple day-to-day things, like, hi, I'd like to rent a space. I'd be like, oh, if you have a space, maybe I might rent it. I have some, yeah. And I was scared because if the money didn't come through, like, what's he gonna do? Like, it's really powerful. So I remember the day I called him to see about the space. I'd been simultaneously looking at AmeriCorps out in Arizona. Like, okay, why not? And the day they called me, the phone just kept cutting off, kept cutting off, kept cutting off. After 3 times, I knew, like, no way is that right. The universe doesn't work that way. The universe always wants us to connect with what's right and true for us. So that's not right. And I went to go call Silver, and I remember I was sitting at a bus stop, and there was a woman smoking, and I kind of noticed her, and I went to call, and I realized I didn't have a pen, and there was all this information I would need to take down about like down payments, how much the rent was, and all this, and out of nowhere, this woman just offers me a pen. She's like, do you need this? I said, yeah. My mind had been like, oh God, like, there you go, messing up again, don't even have a pen, making this big call, But no, the universe always gives us exactly what we need, exactly when we need it, and a lot of times we don't even need to ask. So that really confirmed to me that it was the right path, that I needed to go. I took that as a sign that the universe would support me and give me what I needed if I moved in that direction, and it definitely did. the journey that has unfolded because I got to live in that community, study in that community, and meet the people who came through there just has been pure heaven. So I'm so grateful, and I 100% attribute that change, that transformation of my life, of my capacity to receive from divine grace to the Reiki attunement. I mean, it's 100% related. It's really magical what can happen when you start aligning, coming into harmony with who you really are. And that's a big thing that Reiki does. It helps you to connect with who you really are. Deep down, I mean, more than you know. I'm still finding out who I am, and there's a lot there. So that's probably enough about that. It's more explanation about how my life transformed with my Reiki I attunement. And so thanks for listening. Hope you have a marvelous day. And let me know what you think. If you have any video ideas or anything like that. All right, thanks. Bye.